Welcome along to Tweet Street Scotland Occupied, or Tweet Street Occupied Scotland, everyone. I'm Cinnamon Bridges, aka Peter, with me this evening, and as always is my co-host JB Whitesnake. Hi John, how you doing, mate?
Peter, not bad. How's yourself?
Aye, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Got a lot to talk about. Got a lot to talk about and try and catch up with. So if we start where we kind of left off, there's been new cabinet introduced by the SNP. What's your thoughts on it?
Aye, no much. I noted one thing that I seen, like the finance secretary. What's her name again? Young lassie.
Kate Forbes.
Kate Forbes. There was a bit on Twitter about her talking about her religion or her religious beliefs.
Yes.
And it always makes me squirm when somebody starts talking about her religious beliefs, because when she said she came for the wee free cup, if you like, whatever you want to call it, you're putting yourself out there to be crucified, basically, because your religious beliefs don't believe in whatever rights other folk believe in, sort of thing. So, I mean, they did the same to that Ed Davey on the Liberal Party. He was getting crucified for his religious beliefs, saying, well, if you believe what your religion says, then you can't agree with gay marriage and everything else. So they'll try and use it to skewer her. And they've talked about her being a future replacement for Nicola Sturgeon. So I think they would slaughter her, to be honest with you, because she's commented on her religious views,
Oh, I totally agree on that, John. It's one of the ones that we've spoke about before, kind of offline or off when no recording. The unionists will use anything that they can to try and attack you. That's another area of attack. I've noticed since the election, we've noticed it well before the election, but it's even more noticeable now after the election. The denial of democracy, the fact that you've not got a mandate, you've not got this, you've not got that, you've not got all the things that most of Scotland voted for. So with the might of the empire, it's as if they're taking any wee thing that they can and they'll use it against you. Kate Forbes, the example that you gave, that's a perfect one for it, was as heated in respect of something that's happened again over the past couple of days. It has been happening for a wee while, John, and we've maybe no spoke about it in the depth that we should have. And it's the trans issue within the SNP. This women won't wish. I don't know if you've seen. There was a tweet. I know you've been kind of otherwise occupied, so I'll go over what I know. You can let me know if you know it. There was a lady who was contacted by Police Scotland and asked to attend an interview about a tweet that she'd sent. And it's gaining traction on Twitter, John, and it's getting picked up by a lot of people. Anna Cherry's keeping an eye on it. She noted, it was notable that she commented that she's keeping a keen eye on what's happening. Yesterday, there was an announcement again on Twitter from Kirkcaldy, right? Piece about controversial stickers that had been posted.
I've seen that. I didn't say what they were, as far as I know.
Again, there's been updates. Nobody knew initially what the stickers were. Well, there was an update, and it was again, women won't wish. It's this issue that's rearing its ugly head, and perhaps by not giving it attention that it rightfully deserves, it's got to the stage where we're at, and it seems to be women's rights getting discarded over trans rights. Nicola Sturgeon done a video when there was a lot of younger people leaving before the election, John, saying that she didn't want young people to leave. The SNP now, there's no backing for Joanna Cherry when she was going through the clear attacks on her person, and whether it be mental or sorry, not mental or physical, whether it be written or spoken attacks, you know. And I don't know if in not talking about it, it's creating a bigger issue. It's potentially very poisonous. It's already poisoned a lot of people off of voting for the SNP in future. A lot of people only voted for the SNP on the last election there for their first vote because Alipar came out and said that it would be for you're voting for your country, vote for independence. It's rearing its ugly head, and I'm all for everybody having equal rights. There's no one person more important than another.
That's right, I believe that.
To give,
I think I've mentioned to you this before. Trans rights are very important, but you don't see anybody in the Labour Party or the Tory Party or the Liberal Party mentioning these issues. So why is it such a, I know it's the SNP or the Scottish Government, but why is it such a big issue for them when it's a non-discussed issue in the Labour Party or the Tory Party or the Liberal Party? So that forces maybe promoting this for their own ends, and I don't mean that's no offence to trans people or anyone else, but there could be people within there who want to agitate for the wrong reason or for the right reason as far as they're concerned. Anybody that can make trouble and rock the boat, then that might be them. I don't know, it's a concern. It's
detrimental to independence movement. It's a negative, has a negative effect on the independence movement. A lot of people are voicing concerns that the independence movement is not getting thought of because of
it's dead in the water at the time being. It's dead in the water at the time being. Like,
and that's the way a lot of.
And I really, and this is, sorry, I just brought some up there, and I'm saying there's nothing happening in the debate. You can bet your last bean that they're planning everything down to the last detail in Westminster. They'll have legislation ready to go. They'll be, and it was already tweeted about it a long time ago, that they've already decided that they can legislate in Westminster even before we have a vote to have a referendum and to remove the powers of referendum for the Scottish Parliament. And we're still talking about it again somewhere 2 years down the line when they could practically any time in weeks, months decide, you know what, we'll remove that for the competency of the Scottish Parliament, and that's it, dead and buried, and there's not a damn thing to do with it. So enemies of time, and I said before, apathy and indifference is the enemy of independence, and we're up to our neck in apathy and indifference at this present time.
Yeah, I totally agree. There's a lot of apathy going about at the minute for everything other than independence.
And I've seen a good tweet. I've not been on Twitter much, but I've seen a good one that Tommy Sheridan had done. It might be saying that we need independence sooner rather than later, and he made the point that there might be plenty of people, or specific people who are very important, who are relatively well off and want independence, and they can afford to wait another 2 or 3 years, whatever. But there's plenty of folk who can't afford to wait 2 or 3 years. That's another 2 or 3 years under the Tory jackboot, under the Brexit jackboot. So where's that going to leave them? Where's the buy-in for these people, for the people in power in Scotland to say, look, you need to stick with us and we'll deliver it? They're not in a rush. They've already said that. It could be 2 or 3 years away. But what about the people who are suffering under the Brexit jackboot now and whatever's to come after it as well? There's no comfort for them whatsoever.
No, there's no, and more concern than comfort. And if you look at it, John, that's how I see it. It's for, I see it from the bottom rung, no, midway up the ladder, the top rung. I'm not that fortunate, you know, so I'm at the bottom rung of the ladder, mate. So this is how I'm viewing it. And serious implications for me, my family, and families like mine. We've already witnessed the destruction, or we've not already witnessed the full destruction of Brexit. I'm just going to stop myself there. We've already witnessed the start of the destruction of Brexit, the fisheries.
And look at what's going to happen to the meat producers as well. They're going to come and they say, oh, you just need to look what they've done to the fisheries to show you how they're going to shaft you just the same. If you think they're going to treat you any different, you are insane. You're just an obstacle and a bargaining chip. And they will play you like a pack of cards, man. They're ruthless, utterly ruthless.
Ruthless indeed. They will take every advantage that we allow, and we are allowing far too many advantages.
And there's actually some things I've seen in the Twitter and the right-wing press basically saying that Britain needs to wake up to the threat of Scotland leaving the Union because it has impact for everyone in Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales. And it's only now that the English biased media are basically showing that there's a threat to the English people. They were happy for them to live in their little British ignorance that Scotland didn't matter, Scotland didn't count, Scotland was subsidised. A lot of people know that's not true. It's exactly the bloody opposite. So they are now basically the English press or the British press, or what you call it, one and the same, are now sounding the horn to say it's a panic. It's major financial implications for everybody in England when Scotland leaves the Union. So they're getting the act together to battle it, hop, stop when it happened. They even getting Prince William and the Queen making overt statements to how important Scotland is and all this nonsense. Now that's the soft power they're using. But I thought these royalties were meant to stay out of these political issues. They've already stated they wouldn't get involved. But now it seems we're moving, they're so desperate to keep us that that doesn't matter anymore. We can fling the royals into the mix and see if that can get a few folk off independence. Right. So they're meant to keep their nose out of these issues, but they're now perfectly prepared to say they're not going to do that.
Well, that's it, John. I mean, you touched on it brilliantly. The fact that they're supposed to be apolitical, and the fact that we have experience of what happened in 2014.
Public getting.
Aye. Well, see that. I don't know if Westminster elite are that arrogant that they think that the Scots that beneath them, that they don't remember these things within or just out with a generation ago that happened. You know, the political generation that we require. I feel that as we said when you mentioned about Tommy Sheridan, it's more important for some than others. However, with the dawn raids that we've witnessed in Glasgow and within Scotland, the Patel saying and speaking the way that she did, I don't know if you've seen that interview or heard the clip of it today when she did a wee attack at Nicola Sturgeon and the Nationalists. But angers you, John. I mean, but you've got to kind of try and go, we need to expect this. This is exactly what we're going to get. Because it's divide and conquer, John. It's divide and conquer all over.
It's their greatest strength. Their greatest strength. And they'll use every dirty trick in the book and every soft power and hard power for people's religious faith to their footballing colours, and they'll use that to their max to divide and conquer, as you say. And it's always hideous when you see pictures of folk in marches and that, Ken, wee boys, 5 and 6 year old, dressed up like British soldiers, Ken. I think that's really sad. I think it really is sad. These people have been indoctrinated into that. That was as their parents were.
Yes,
it's really sad when you see that. I mean, they might think it's right, and that's their belief to believe it's right. But I think it's really to be indoctrinating kids like that is sad.
Yes, I totally agree, mate. But well, you mentioned sport. I wanted to kind of
you notice that the British media barely never mentioned you hear about the orange walks in the Scottish media and all that. You never hear it in the British media. They never mention a word about it. You never see it in a national. But you never see BBC England or BBC News talk about orange walk. Very, very rarely it's mentioned. But it's all part of their core belief is in the British Empire. But in the British media or the British government use it as a tool to suppress independence, and they're quite happy to use it as a tool, but they never talk about it openly or criticise it.
And I think I don't know. I get a sense of from the Scottish government. It's just a sense of fear.
Yeah, I've always said that.
A sense that
timid.
A sense that they. This is going to come out whatever way I try and word this here. A sense that they think that the UK government outranks the Scottish government and the Scottish people. It's not about democracy. I mean, 48% voted for Brexit, and it happened, right? 48% of the electorate voted for it.
48% bothered to vote.
Aye, that's what I'm saying. And it happened there. We got. We've not got a majority government, we've got a minority government, as we're aware. However,
now there's another thing I touched on there. The SNP going for a minority government rather than going into a partnership with the Greens. That was a bit of a surprise. Why alienate yourself with the Green Party who support independence? Why make yourself a minority government when you can be in a coalition government?
Well, I think...
Why take one of the Green MPs to be the Speaker? Didn't quite understand that either.
Again, all these moves that are getting made, John, they don't seem to be in it of
the political long game.
Aye, they don't seem to be the benefit of independence soon.
Yeah.
We've only got a finite amount of time to gain independence, especially with this government in Westminster, because they're doing everything to shaft people of Scotland, jobs. And
I think they can. And at one point, I thought they wouldn't be able to do it without troops at some point, but I really think they could do it now without troops. They can just manipulate the political and legal system in England to overrule the political system and the legal system in Scotland, and the old school tie brigade will sort that lot out for them down south. So they'll get the political decisions that went through the courts. And they've even basically said, as part of their ongoing legislation, they want to legislate against the court's right to intervene in political decisions in England. So the right of the courts to intervene on what the British government does has been lessened all the time anyway. So
I mean, I think it's going as a more steep, it's going as a mountain to climb rather than what hill, you know. And
we're still sitting twiddling our thumbs thinking about it. Well, they're making mountain higher every day.
I don't know that for me it shows a bit of naivety, or it shows a bit of alternate thinking that doesn't sit well with me, in the fact that, well, I'm an independence seeker and don't see my government supporting that, even though it's been voted for. It's been the majority of people voted on that basis, that electing these people into power will give us the right to have a referendum where we can legislate for our own future. I'm going to pause that thought there, because I've got this picture up here of Josh Taylor.
Right.
We've spoken before about our admiration for certain things about Scotland. Now, boxing for me is that we've spoken about before. It's something that I enjoyed partaking in it when I was younger. Enjoy watching it now that I'm older and I move about as much. I need to give props to Josh Taylor. Unified.
Yeah, good going.
Right. So undisputed, unified world champion, right? From Scotland, to Preston Pans in Scotland. Well done. You must be absolutely buzzing. You kept me up all night. This is a direct message to you, Josh Taylor. You kept me up all night and I'm still buzzing for you. I can't imagine how you are. Well done.
Did you manage to watch it somewhere?
Aye, mate. I was lucky enough that the wind was blowing in the right way and the satellite signals came in the right direction, and somehow I managed to get a look at it. It was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. For me, from the first bell, and it's probably a wee bit of saltire tinted eyes, you know. From the first bell, went out and put on a performance that would make any Scotsman proud. When you've won, when you've become world champion, that performance is they put Ramirez down twice in the sixth, 15 seconds into the beginning of the sixth round, then partway through the seventh round, the seventh round or so, he come down, and it's like the back of 3 in the morning. Everybody else is in bed, and I'm trying to keep myself contained watching it. It was fantastic. I just want to say it was great. Well done, Josh Taylor.
Has it been mentioned much in the media at all?
Oh, well, that's another matter, isn't it, John? Indeed.
Surprising, eh?
So, it hasn't been mentioned much in the media. Joe Gallagher, who is a well-renowned boxing trainer in the UK, and England. See, I get myself mixed up with things here. In England, he a tweet out to Sky Sports to say that Scotland's got a unified,
world champion,
undisputed unified world champion, because there'll be no mention of it. But I think the thing was, John, that as you've seen that wee picture that's on the screen, there's a saltire emblazoned on it, and there's a saltire in the background as well. He had a saltire in the ring with him, and I've got a funny feeling that that's maybe why there was no mention of this anywhere in the mainstream media. So more's the more strength to his elbow, the fact that he took the saltire there. He was proud. He's a proud Scotsman, and he waved his saltire about soon as he was announced the champion. So I wrote a wee just wee bits, wee words, because I was a wee bit buzzing, and I've been really tired, so this might not make any sense. It makes sense to me, so I'm going to try and read it the way it was, right? Year of the Lord 2021, hailing for Preston Pans, our unified undisputed boxing champ. His name Josh Taylor. He's our first, and his name's Josh Taylor. Granite chin, a warrior's heart. The last bell right for the start. He's our very end, Josh Taylor. He takes a saltire wherever he goes. He bruises some eyes. He gives out a burst nose. He's Scotland's very own, Josh Taylor. Well done, mate.
Very good.
So that was that. That's my wee. I've already, as you know, because I've seen you retweeting it. I've already I contacted him to see if he'll give us a comment at Tweet Street, or if he'll appear on the podcast, even a 5 minute, a half hour feature, whatever. In the top, because not very often that you get a Scottish champion. Such a and it's a big achievement. It's a massive achievement in the sport. So,
and it's no mistake that he's not nowhere to be seen in the media, by the way. That's no mistake.
Oh, that we know only too well. I mean, we know only too well. Matter of fact, I'm going to let you into a wee secret here. Because when the wind changed at one point, now I managed to get the luck of satellite signals and what have you. When the wind changed at one point, my screen changed, and it went from Ramirez with the American flag and Josh Taylor with Scottish saltire, changed to Ramirez with the American flag and Josh Taylor with
the British flag.
Right. So I quickly repositioned the signal, I would say, back to the original one. We had the saltire on it. So I think he's been kept out of the media here for that reason and that reason alone. They don't want people in Scotland to know you've got something good there and he's doing so well. So that's that one, right? We're moving on because there's other things we need to cover, right? We've got to cover the Scottish curling. I'm sure it was the duo team, Norway 9-7. They become world champions over the weekend as well. I don't know if that was last night or Friday night. A wee bit sketchy for myself on that respect. And we had 2 swimming successes. One got gold and one got silver. The person that got silver was Scottish. The person that got gold was proclaimed not to be Scottish, but to be the other one, even though they are Scottish, right? That was over the past couple of days. So I'm just bigging up Scotland as we're here to do, John, because we're a pro-independence, pro-Scotland podcast, and about it, it's good. I'll big up. So those are the kind of a sporty bits. The one I wanted to kind of touch on, because it brings it back to something that we've both got a keen interest in, is football. Johnson managed to win the Scottish Cup, so that's in the
double.
Both cups, yeah, they've done the double on both cups. Well done, and on the budget they've done it on is absolutely fantastic. I mean, you need to give props to their manager, first year as the club as manager. I think he's done an absolutely fantastic job. Obviously, he's won 2 cups. I mean, you don't do that by the luck, you know. So I think he's done.
He's one of these players that I remember him playing for. Was it Blackburn at one time? And he played for Scotland as well. And never heard him. And I seen him. I didn't even know he was a manager. St Johnson. He looks about 110 now, but I can remember him playing for Scotland a few years ago.
See, that's how old we're getting, John. That's how old we're getting, mate.
Yeah, that's right. Testing us by.
Callum, well done to you, mate. Well done to St Johnson. And congratulations to the people of Perth and St Johnson fans for showing the people of Glasgow how to celebrate.
That's right. In fact, I've seen that a good tweet. I must admit, I put Twitter on this morning just for a quick look at it, and somebody went down and take a picture of Perth High Street, which I know very, very well. working there in various jobs, and it showed you Perth High Street after the celebrations and the night before sort of thing, and it was just folk walking about normally, no even a bit of dog shit in the pavement, like nothing, even a bit of litter or nothing, just a normal day.
That was that. It was just normal. In a way, some people will take offence to those kind of attitudes, but I think that shows the Scottish humour.
Yeah, I know that's right. It's self-deprecating.
And the fact that we're saying, well, look, right, we want everybody to be happy to be celebrating things. This is the way you do it. This is the way you do it, and this is the way you enjoy it better. And everybody else then enjoys it ways a wee bit more. I mean, so it was well done to St Johnson. What else have we got on here on this agenda? Oh, this was a wee something. Actually, somebody asked if you could get. Patel had a perfume range coming out. What would you call it? There was already one out that was ample for her. It was called Poison. So just thought it shit and I'm going to go back to the stickering incident. I'm going to stop share here because I've got a wee thing made up that when I share this video, it gives you the background as to why the video was done. The stickering incident that we spoke about earlier on, John, just come back onto that. This thing here on as a background. And do the studio effects. That one. That one. You can see where I'm going with this, can't you?
Definitely. What time of year again?
Hold on, where's my studio effects and video folders?
Fud in the fedora, what's his name?
Aye, the pussy, George Galloway.
He disappeared there.
Oh, he's scrapper. He's away to try and con some other unsuspecting people that he thinks he can con this time. So he's away down to England to try and run for something down there, some councillor.
Right. I thought it was something else he was running for in Scotland. Was it no?
I don't think he's running for Scotland
or something. I don't know. What was he running today? He's meant to be trying for some seat in somewhere up bloody north or some damn thing, but he's sodded off down south again. What a chancer.
Aye, well, we know he's a chancer. I mean, you don't go from being standing beside Nicola Sturgeon seeking independence.
Aye, saying that shoot me if you ever stand beside a Tory.
Aye, and then to shoot me if you ever stand beside a Tory. It's like you don't go for that if there's no vested interest financially for you. And I think people like this are getting found out a wee bit now.
Bit late, but better late than never, I suppose. But it's just when there's a work to be made, eh? I've got lots of opinions, they're all for sale.
That's the thing. I mean, you can fool some of the people some of the time. You can't fool all the people all the time, John. And I think a lot of people are waking up to these agents, whatever.
What is it about folk that wear hats inside, by the way? What's that all about?
Aye, I know. It's like
we fear to show a bit of skin, a bit of heat.
They're obviously that tight that they don't want any heat escaping anywhere. Heat or anything. Right, so this was the wee video that I'd done. This is why we got this background up, and it was to do with this stickering incident. We're going to go into a wee bit more now, John, right? So, hold on. Right, I'm going to share the sound with you first. I've pressed the ring. Press the wrong one. Then you go to more. Right, so this was the video that was done as a matter of stickering, and you'll notice in here anybody that's eagle-eyed will notice that I've spelt wish without the H after the W, which is wrong. And it's already up now, and I can't change it because I've already put the video out, so it's staying that way, right? It was after that I noticed. So here's the wee video. I'll put it on. Again, it's that try to be a different take on what's actually happening with the incident.
On verdict form C, as to the count 1, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyler Hughes, guilty of
controversial stickering. Aye. Guilty is charged. Guilty is charged. Aye. That's controversial stickering, and guilty is charged. Thanks very much.
Right, so he made a fleeting appearance at Kirkcaldy stickering court. That's because I'm reading it instead of just saying it. But Nil and Gavi. As I say, you've been otherwise engaged this week. The last thing that we spoke about on a podcast was the last thing that we spoke about on one of our podcasts was the fact that the last thing that we spoke about we're going to be doing with our podcast. That's why I'm getting confused, because I'm like, there's nothing coming to me here. Why is there nothing coming? The last thing that we spoke about the podcast was that I was going to contact some places of interest round about the country and try and see if we could potentially do visit to some of these places. Do a wee feature. As yet, I don't have anything to report with an offer from anyone. However, I've got a couple of callbacks to do this week. A lot of people were just getting back into the swing of returning into things last week, and I did speak to people, but it was just wasn't the right people that I was speaking to. So they've arranged for me to have further contact with people that could make the decisions that I was asking for, or give us an answer to the questions that I was asking for, rather than just maybe. And I don't mean this to be negative about these other people, but that wasn't their area. They were maybe just customer service. Only the people that ran the operation, or the people that done the promotion of certain aspects of the operation. So we're waiting a few. I've got 2 calls to do this week and 1 scheduled in for next week. It's just chasing up with places' interest. One of the ones that I tried to get in contact with, I'm going to do again this week, because I couldn't actually get anybody for one reason or another. It was always either busy, or I wasn't able to make a call on the times that there was somebody there. It was Dundonald Castle, and I know that you lived in Kilmarnock, and it's in Kilmarnock. I know that you did live in Kilmarnock at one point. So were you aware of Dundonald Castle?
Oh, aye, I remember it, yeah.
Did you ever go to it? Did you ever visit?
Aye, I'm sure I bloody was there. I'm just trying to remember how long ago it was. And there's other one as well. There's the one with the park as well. Where's that? What's the name of that one again?
Oh, Dean's Castle.
Dean Castle, that's the other one. I used to go there regular for a walk. Aye.
That's where the Dick Institute is.
That's right.
Dean's Castle. That's where I was.
The Dick Institute.
I was taking it the week before when it was dry, and it was just after the election, and having to. John, I've just realised I've still got that hat on. And that,
you have? That's what I was laughing at.
Right, well, I'll need to take it off now, because it keeps on catching my eye now.
Used to go to the library up there a lot as well. Come on.
They did have it wasn't a petting zoo, but it was a kind of a wildlife reserve type thing, a nature reserve more than get deers and what have you, and get a couple of swans, and the grounds are absolutely lovely down at Dean Castle, I must admit. Dundonald Castle was something that I was wanting to go to, because something that's actually interested me for a long time. Like old kind of I don't know if it's the fact that it's the old buildings that you kind of I don't know, I like that kind of old ruins and things like that. So when it comes to kind of castles and things, it's always interested, if not fascinated me. You know what I mean? It's always something I've been interested in. Kind of a wee bit of respect to, in a backward way. It's a kind of having to live like that and having to make those things.
It is fascinating, definitely.
So it's something that somewhere that's always interested me, because I think my journeys round about these parts of Scotland, I've driven past it en route to places of employment, or I've always I must go there, I must go there. So this is that was one of the first ones that I've tried to get, because it was get a chance now to do that, and it's always been something that for some reason I always wanted to kind of do it. So I'm going to try and do that. I'm not want to give away some of the places, because I don't know. One, without giving too much away, that the offer that I'm trying to put on is that we will do a promotional video for them and a review. It's because we are pro Scotland, and it's places round about Scotland that of interest. We'll go, we'll see how it's like for parking, we'll see what it's like for food, we'll see what it's like for value for money, accessibility, or people with concerns, whether they be physical or mental, how they are in respect of doing that. So what I'm trying to do, the way that I've pitched it, John, and the way that I'm trying to do it is that it's going to be, that's the angle that we're taking. We will do a promotional of our time there, and they can then use that promotional video in exchange for allowing us to do the actual tour. And could have been a freebie. I'm not in a position to pay a lot of these, the cost for a lot of these things. However, what I can give is I can give something back. Instead of give something back, I'm going to try and give something forward by saying that this is what we're doing, and it's on the basis that you allow us kind of no free rein. Be respectful. Go and do the same thing that anybody else would, get a tour or get whatever it is. Go round about it, and then give them an honest review of our experience there, so that get forward a wee bit by saying things are tough for everybody. However, if we can get people aware of what's on their doorstep, because obviously holidays are going to be out the window for a lot of people.
It's true.
So we've got all of these. Scotland is an absolutely beautiful country. It's amazing in what it has, the things you've got on your doorstep. If anything, Scots are priced out. I mean, I say Scots, I term all Scots, new Scots, old Scots. Scots still to come. That's exactly what I mean. We're priced out of Scotland. However, we're going to have to, there's a new norm, we're going to have to adjust to that. In these places, if we can get people, local people, to go, I didn't know that I had that here, or I didn't know this was here, and it might bring in a wee bit of revenue for them as well. Again, the prices are something that a lot of people, especially families, will try and encounter coming up to the summer holidays, trying to do something. So if we can do something like that and put it out to people, it doesn't need to be outdoor, because we don't always have great outdoor weather in Scotland. Complete B places indoor. There's a lot of good things all over the country. I mean, you've got the dungeons in Edinburgh, which is underground. You've got other places all over Scotland. You've got places in the Highlands that are absolutely beautiful. Again, the weather dependent allows you to enjoy some of these more than others. So it's trying to the right places at the right times. If we can put that out to an audience, well, this is what it is, this is what it costs, value for money, service, etc., etc. Hopefully we can provide a wee bit of a service to Scotland that Scotland's trying to provide to the people of Scotland, and that's by letting them, making them aware what there is on their doorstep, how much it costs, and what joys you can get out of it. As I say, it's accessible by car, train, and just give people a wee review service more than anything else, but promote it. So that's what I've been doing over the past about 10 days. I've been trying to iron with folk. As has been the case, we try to get people to appear on the podcast, John. it's difficult. It's really difficult. Try to get people to listen to you, never mind anything else.
Aye, put head above the parapet sort of thing, yeah.
Aye, you're kind of right. Well, it's as if I'm trying to sell them their own service.
Yeah.
Here you go. And I would rather that people were phoning me and saying, or messaging me and saying, oh, listen, we see you on a podcast, you're big on Scotland, you're doing this, you're doing that. I'd like to come and review this and do that and do your promotional video for us. We'll accept a promotional video for you. I mean, I'm sure to cut a promotional video, if it's done professionally, it's a wee bit of money.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
All we're trying to do is take some clips of what you've got to offer, provide them to a wider audience. Your own organisation won't have to foot the cost for. We're prepared to our free time in the effort that we've got, make that, and in return for access to your place, give your review. Again, we are doing it on a budget, John. It's the full thing for the outset of this. If you Tweet Street Scotland and Tweet Street Occupy Scotland was, it's not going to cost us anything because we're not in the position to be throwing the money that we don't have. There's a lot of people across Scotland with Brexit still to bite. The farmers that we spoke about earlier are about to get hit hard. McVitie's factory is already under threat.
See my chap committee two side for that place. He wasn't sure he was going to get his redundancy or some damn thing. Shocking, eh?
And that's news to me, John. I hadn't heard that, mate. I hadn't heard that. So that's a wee bit of a sickener, actually. I was actually going to go and see there was a cross-party gathering outside the McVitie's factory in Tollcross yesterday. I believe SNP, Labour were there, and Lib Dems. I don't know if that was the case. I don't know if Oliver were represented. I'm not sure. Again, was talk of. Well, I don't know if Alba would have been represented there actually, but I've not read enough about it. I was kind of myself up to speed with sport over the weekend with the Scottish Cup, and then I knew about the boxing and what have you. So I've missed a wee bit myself over the past day and a bit. The ones that I've caught were obviously Stickering situation. What about yourself? Was there anything that we've not kind of spoke about that you wanted to give a bit of credence to?
No, in particular. One thing I don't know if we talked about it before as well was when Boris Johnson was talking about, remember recently that the Duke of Edinburgh passed away. And Boris Johnson took the time to stand up in Parliament and talk about the Duke of Edinburgh and talk about his conversations he had with the Duke of Edinburgh. And he commented that the Duke of Edinburgh spoke to him about his extended family through Russia, basically going back obviously many years. And basically the words that Boris Johnson used in the House of Commons was that Prince Philip told me that the Russians had, the bastards had murdered half my family. And that is the words that he used. And I'd be interested to know how many people would be bothered to think, all right, okay, was there no wee revolution or something on there? And to think how the Russian people were treated, the peasants, if they were called, the Russian royalty, the Tsars, they all lived in their multiple palaces, or summer palaces, or winter palaces, living in opulence for generation after generation, while the Russian people outside starved and froze to death. And yet here we've still got the British elite harking back to the time that the Russians murdered the royal family in Russia, the Tsars, and shot them all and whatever else. But they forget to mention that millions of ordinary Russians perished at the hands of the Russian royal establishment, the Tsars and everything else. And that's what led to the Russian Revolution. It's just people are so ignorant. They've got an inkling of a story about what happened to one country with involved the royal family and everything else. There's a further story to that part as well. I've read that the Russian royal family contacted the British royal family at the time, and they knew that their cards were numbered, or they were under threat for the Russian Revolution, and they wanted to come over to the UK. But the British king at the time thought, oh, he seen what was happening over here. He thought, well, the revolution might follow the Russian royal family over here. So he refused to let them come over to the UK. and escaped for the Russian hordes. So he basically condemned them to their own fate. So it's very telling where the British like to pick and choose their people they want to chastise for atrocities and everything else when they've been party to so many of their own part all around the world.
Well, on that, the news that's been hot on hot in the news over the past few days about the BBC. I hate using that. Right. I always try not to use that name, right? Name on how their handling of the Princess Diana interview with Martin Bashir and what have you. Now, there's an awful lot of news about this. Somebody that's been dead for 25 years almost, and how the BBC, well, I will use them actually.
Sky as well, they've been up to their neck in it.
They were the cause of this.
Yeah.
It was nothing to do with her husband having the affair or anything like that. And
right. Or her affair, her having affairs.
Or her having the affair, you know, there's nothing to do with that.
You've got it. I mean, my opinion is, God almighty, but we've had that for years. It's still a staple diet of the British press all these years later on, but there were two very selfish, flawed people who came from very privileged backgrounds. So I always found it fascinating that people who have, be rude, don't have a pot to piss in, or very, very poor, are so caught up in such wealthy, selfish, self-centered, self-interested, self-promoting people who latch on to charities to give themselves some sort of credence, think that their lives are so important and it's such a tragedy when they pass away for whatever reason. Lots of good people die, unfortunately, every day, but don't get the attention that these lot got. And they're still, and for the rest of the family to go in now and they're digging it up, and whatever this guy for the BBC done wrong, they're happy to sit in front of a camera and spew it all out again, looking for sympathy, empathy, and everything else, which it's a long time ago. The poor women should be left in peace if that's the case. But no, there's a political point to be made, because we all know that even though as much as we hate the BBC, the Tories want to further turn it into, if it's not bad enough they know with the Tory propaganda we see on it, they want it to be even more Tory propaganda that's on it.
Aye, well, I mean, the Bampots, Egypt was on, it was, and this is the irony for me, this is the irony I don't understand this. Egypt's on saying that the BBC really need to
Okay, they switch him off, right?
Can't he afford to? He's got too many. He's put too many of his pals in there now. He can't pay them off now.
That's what I'm saying. That's right. They've got donated to the Tory party.
Aye. Oh, and they really should be what the institution should really watch what they're doing, and everything else should be truthful, and they should be a pillar of. Like, hold on a minute here. Come on, fuck. Right, I can't be like to this Egypt. No, I'm sorry.
The sooner the BBC goes pay-per-view as Sky, all the better, because it'll mean it'll disappear from everybody's screens, for particularly in Scotland and all those other places. People are forced to pay for the BBC. If you want a TV, like if you want to be able to watch TV, basically, so you're forced to pay for it. If you want to stay on the right side, you can still end up in bloody jail for no paying for it. So you're forced to buy it. So I'll be very happy when the BBC goes for it, and like, oh, you ought to be a shame, and people let it go pay-per-view and let it support itself on who wants to watch it. They pay for it, not be forced to pay for it when you don't bloody watch it.
Right. Well,
here we go.
Right, I'm going to move off track
on steroids,
just so you can see.
I've seen it. I've got that one. Sure. And did you even see the follow-up to that? There's some Bampot, I can't mind his name, who's one of these new ones that signed up to it. He was getting his jockstrap in a twist because of the Eurovision last night, saying that we saved these countries from Nazi persecution and again is nil point.
The royaume-umi, nil point. Royaume-umi, nil point.
And he's going on about, he's sending out tweets saying we saved these countries during it, and
there was that.
In the name of Christ.
There was another one, that Julia Hartley Brewer, I think it was. crackpots come away with. She came away with. This is. They're all triggered. They're completely triggered in there because.
I know, that's right.
You get Ed Sheeran, Dell, and Coldplay to do next year's entry. And if we get Neil Pla then, I'm like, oh my God.
It's unbelievable how upset they get about it. And it's just, I think it's the cheesiest, crappiest thing out, but they couldn't care less about it. But they seem to get themselves so politically involved in it that how dare they disrespect us by not giving us what we want, you know, if it's no Waterloo or whatever. Oh my God's sake.
It's
life.
It's not.
Pathetic.
I don't understand.
It just shows these people up for what they are. They're utter haters. They really are. They can't take it.
Next train arriving at platform 2 in Glasgow Central will be the 224 from Westminster. All loyalists, paramilitaries, and unionists, please disembark from the train, safely taking your bigotry and your sectarianism with you. If not, you will make use of it very well.
Hi, I'm Andy Niall. This is the Great British Railway News. Oh, loyalists, unionists and paramilitaries, please disembark the train safely, taking your bigotry, racism and sectarianism with you, or else I'll have to use it for you. Now, I know you're not liking the colour of my high vis, but I'm waiting for the orange one to come through. I'll come through eventually. Now remember, if you can shit in a bag or be sitting in somebody's garden, wire in, but just make sure they're a Scottish independent supporter. Come on, the union.
They can give it out, but they can't take it.
Aye, that's exactly how I view it as well, John. It's absolutely pathetic, you know. But it's worth reveling in when you've got the opportunity.
It's so stupid and pathetic. It just shows them up for the stereotypes that they have.
I mean, I don't think I've ever watched the Eurovision.
Oh, I can remember.
Here you go. This is what I can remember.
What's this?
Right. Yeah, that's taking it back a wee bit. I need to ask that one.
Last time I watched it.
Right. I'm trying to think. The only things of note that I can remember about the Eurovision Song Contest always seem to be the controversial things. So,
aye, bloke with the one with the beard and all that.
Aye, was he the Israel? Something to do with,
I don't know.
The Israel entry or something like that. I don't know. Again, I know that he made or they made a splash. They made a bit of a splash. I know that. Remember, Ireland made a bit of a splash for winning it 3 years in a row or something like that.
Oh, and then they didn't want to host it because it cost too much money.
Well, there you go. I didn't even know that, John. It's not something that's ever interested me. If you anybody that enjoys it, if you enjoy it, then wire in. It's not my cup of tea.
I know it's something on Saturday night that the Daft Masses national version, you know, Simon Cowell and it's just shite, isn't it? Really, but it's the mindless dross to put on in television at Saturday tea time, isn't it? It's utter pants like. But hey, whoever floats your boat, man.
Well, if you enjoy it, all the power, you know what I mean? People are enjoying it.
Right.
It's not for me, but they're the things that I remember. But it all seems to be the controversial ones. That's what for last night's was more. I remember, or I'll remember this for being the first one since Brexit, and obviously Europe have spoken back to these.
That's right.
Royaume-umi and Neil Pla.
Diary.
And anyway,
it's a kiss of death for anybody that goes into it, by the way. They'll never heard it again after it.
Well, again, I couldn't tell you. I think did ABBA win it maybe a few years back?
Aye. We're talking about British entries, Ken. Nowadays, when you get the last 10, 20 years entry for Britain that goes into that, it's basically they're signing themselves to can never be seen again. Like it's infamy.
Get Boris Johnson, Pretty Patel, and the Tory government to go in for next year's thing, because hopefully we'll never see him again.
Oh dear.
I remember her doing on raids and wanting to get pictured. Did you see that, John, through the week? She's standing there.
Who was that? Sorry, say that again.
Pretty Patel in the Dawn raids. This one was down south where she's out and she's got the Home Secretary.
Oh, aye, Home Secretary badge on her.
Home Office jacket and all that.
Aye, aye.
And cutting about actually outside somebody's house,
Aye.
wanting to pick a photo up.
Is that
And
no
Boris
sure?
Johnson's cutting about, that Egypt's cutting about
Aye,
with the
Prime
bomber
Minister in
jacket,
his jacket.
with the Prime
Aye.
Minister and the lightning flashes. Now, the last people that had lightning flashes, to my recollection, were Nazis.
Aye, a rabbi.
Fascists. Aye, right. So the gaslighting is even to this
I know.
serious extent.
What's that about?
I mean,
What would you need a jacket saying Prime Minister or her name saying the Home Office? What's she trying to kid on she's in? In
Aye.
MI6 or something like that? The
I
CI5.
I think they think they're on a television show. I think they're in that Line of Duty or whatever it is. Everybody's watching.
Shocking, isn't it?
I've not watched that Line of Duty either, so any Line of
But
Duty fans out there, don't know about it.
But that plays well with the people that vote for them, isn't it? That
Aye.
look, they're getting them out, you know,
Aye.
I shouldn't be here.
That's the dog whistle.
That's who they're playing to.
That's the dog whistle that they're
And
blowing.
that leads on to a point as well. There's so many shows now, particularly Channel 5 and that, which better known as poverty porn. Ken?
Aye.
And you've got all these rich poor kids and rich family, poor families talking about, and they're very popular Channel 4, but I think it is demeaning for the people that take it. If they're not smart enough to know, they're sitting laughing at these people, their poverty, like, and the situation they've got themselves. And I think it's disgusting television, actually, for me. Like, I would never watch it, but I know people watch it and think it's great. How these rich people they're finding it, I've got to live on £12 a week, or like, and that's sold as entertainment.
Aye, you probably have all the Tories sitting watching that, going, "Oh, look at this," and making the programme and going, "Oh,
of course they will. Of course they will." And they'll be carefully selected to show up the very worst, by the way.
Aye, and
you know what I mean? No, aye.
That's it's people are in a position taking advantage of, being taken advantage of by people who are in a position to take advantage of people who are in a position to take advantage of. And
I mean,
that's what I get for these programmes.
It's the same thing with Jeremy Kyle and that. These idiots that appeared on that, but I know that was a very popular show when it was on, but I hated seeing it was on a turnover. But these people that put themselves up, they must have known they're putting the belt. They didn't know they're made to look like absolute scum.
Aye.
And that's the fact of the matter. And people are laughing at them.
People are laughing at them. And for what? For the sake of, I don't know if people that take part get something on, whether there's a financial reward or there's a promise of something, and that's why they take part in it, or if they think they're raising awareness in the right way, when in actual fact both of us are hinting at it. Well, no, these are getting used for free.
They're laughing at you. People are laughing
are getting used for free. These are getting laughed at, and people like it. All getting clubbed into the same one. It's like the £50. It's like burning the £50 notes. Not I mean, in front of your face, I mean, because they can.
Have you ever seen that fictional film? But the fictional film is based on fact, but Boris Johnson, all these ones. What's it called? About
yes.
The Bullingdon Boys.
The Bullingdon Boys. I couldn't mind that. Yes, I have.
Aye.
Anybody's watching this.
Restaurants know that. It's a good film.
Aye. Anybody who is tuning in and watching this, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It will make you angry. Watch it, because this is based on
fact. It's a fictionalised version of the fact. They've got to change names and stuff, but it's obvious who people are meant to be in it. How the elitists basically, they're set up for life. They get into all the Oxford, eating all these places, and it's all school tie brigade, and they all get looked after. They bump into each other, whether it's through personal, private life, or getting up in court. You went to school with a judge. You ain't going anywhere, mate. You'll get looked after.
Aye, and that's the thing. It shows you establishment, its operation, to an extent. It shows you how it operates, or how certain people think the establishment operates. Because
even relating that to Brexit and that, because even the Metropolitan Police said that they couldn't continue investigation into the fraudulent activities that happened in Brexit because of political sensitivities. So it's basically saying it would bring down important political people, and the police didn't want to be any part of that because they're in the pocket of the political aid. So how are we any better than Russia or China then?
No,
just get away with it. Well, no.
No, I mean, I think people are starting to realise now that the USA and Scotland, unfortunately, clubbed with under Westminster, Wales, are not the goodies.
No, never have been.
Well,
But
no,
some
the
people are
goodies.
deluded to think we are. I mean, I was looking for
Aye.
stuff this morning about colonialism, and some people seem to think we brought enlightenment to the world by colonialising. They should be thankful that we enslaved them and stole their land and stuff. We left some stuff behind when we went after 300 years later.
Aye,
Shocking.
aye, mate. It's that skewed view of reality. See that indoctrination.
Well, there's that thing. It was Operation Legacy. A lot of people weren't aware of Operation Legacy, where it was started. It ran for the late 50s to the late 70s, where the British government basically went round the world bribing, blackmailing. It was involving the Home Office, MI5, basically hoovering up all evidence of British atrocities, crimes around the world, so they could basically rewrite the history books and whitewash colonialism. The murder that happened in Zimbabwe and all these other countries, or Rhodesia as it used to be then, the torture, the murder, mass murder of blacks under British colonialism has been whitewashed for the history books. And they continue to do it to this day, whitewashing situations, what they're doing. They admit to nothing, and they want to, it's denied, and it's just paints a false picture, and that's what they want. They want a false narrative to be believed.
We've said before, John, it's a case of the history is written by the oppressors. It's
right. The victors, yeah.
They try and indoctrinate it into everybody else, so that it's believed as fact, when in actual fact history is
manipulated,
denied in a lot of
ideology.
Aye, that's it. It's been denied in a lot of different cultures, the true history. But it's by people speaking truth to power that kind of I get an insight, and I think there's more people speaking truth to power now, rather than taking it as, well, this is taking it as read. And I think the new majority of Scotland are now kind of up dinner alongside that we're not believing everything that's getting broadcast into our living rooms, and we're not believing textbooks that are getting into our classrooms.
Yeah, but even at now, you've got Oliver Dowden, the Secretary of England for what the hell he's in finance. He used to do education and stuff like that as well. But they were floating the idea recently that the Union Jack should fly outside the school in Scotland and Wales, and they should pay homage to it like they do in America every day, swear allegiance to the flag.
Aye.
Going straight for America, like, you know what I mean? It's just
look well, that's got America.
Insult it when you've got to pay allegiance to it.
Aye, well, look, well, that's got America, John. Look, well, that's
right.
I mean, so kind of a
toxic, absolutely toxic.
Aye, and that's not something I would have a party. Right now, away of time, John. I'm not rushing off. I just wanted to kind of say.
That's
right. I just wanted to kind of say there's a couple of things coming up in the next couple of days that have a bearing on whether whether Scotland's laughing for a few days, because Dominic Cummings is it the select committee or is it the MP committee?
I read something about that.
He's going to be giving his take on Egypt and his Egypt who denied that herd immunity was the target today, even though there was
a big bag of custard.
Aye, even though he was. I should be pulling that hitting me a custard by. Even though he was on the telly saying that herd immunity should take it on the chin and let it flow through the community, the electorate, and blah blah blah. So I'll be watching that space with interest over the next few days. I also wanted to mention, because I don't know if you've seen, you've got the Good Law Project at court against the UK government. You've got Every Doctor UK at court against the UK government. You've got the Churchill Project, I believe, at court,
they're very good.
At court against the UK government. So it's a big week. We're getting none of that reported to us. All we're getting reported to us is the fact that 25 years ago, an interview a man did with a princess caused her to be killed in a tunnel. It was that interview that caused it, nothing else. It wasn't that forces of the royal family. It wasn't the fact that she could have been pregnant with somebody else's child at the time. It wasn't anything like that. You know, it was definitely that interview on that channel by Mark Bashir that caused this. Thoughts, mate?
Aye, it's a big bag of guff, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. They're manipulating the situation. It's all British trick. Ken, don't look here, look over here. Change the narrative and control the narrative. It's all carefully manipulated. What you see on the screen, who says what to who, and how it's projected. It's 101 for these idiots that swallow it like it really is.
Everybody having them odds with everybody else, keeping everybody divided, distracting attention from the real goings on, people.
Yeah.
From the real goings on. Open your eyes, look in other areas, and don't fall for the bullshit. It's the message that we're going to finish on tonight, John. That's the message that we're going to finish.
Do me.
Right, so I'm going to say thank you very much, everybody from Tweed Street, Scotland, Tweed Street Occupied Scotland, Cinnamon Bridges, aka Peter, from JB Whitesnake. On you go, mate.
Yeah, nice speaking to you all. Take care till next time. We'll see you again.
Thanks very much, everybody.